Hi friends, it's Jill Farmer. Hope everybody's having a really good day. I'm out running around a little bit today, and I had yet another conversation with somebody about how busy they are and how about the fact that they're just really too busy to do a lot of the stuff that they really want to do, or a lot of the stuff that's meaningful for them. And so as I was driving home, I just thought, you know what, I know a lot of you have heard me talk about busy and what busyness means and kind of our relationship to busy. But I wanted to take just a second. Hi, Meredith. Thanks for saying hi. I wanted to take just a second to talk about busy and our relationship to busy, and maybe some ways that you can turn the dial down on the busy and get to some of those things that matter to you a little bit, or relax and enjoy this thing called life that we all have one of to live here during our time on planet Earth. So busyness, or being busy, I often say is really a cover story, right? If you guys have heard me talk about this, many of you in my book, and I talk about the fact that a friend and I did a little experiment a few years ago, and we went out and asked 10 people how they are, and 10 of the 10 people answered us with busy or one of its derivatives. You know, crazy busy, so much going on. And we all have answered the question, how are you, with that word. I think busy has become the new fine. And it really is, as I said, a cover story. We're telling somebody else we're busy as a way to just kind of end the conversation, not have a meaningful, honest, genuine, authentic interaction with each other a lot of the time. And perhaps even more importantly, we want to let the other person know we're okay, or we're good, or we're worthy, because a lot of us make busyness be our worth-o-meter. That's what I talk about a lot of times, or worthometer. So the busier we are, the more we're worth, and the more qualified we are to be good human beings. And I just have to call bull on that a little bit, because busyness and being busy is really different than being engaged or doing something of meaning or being active. The difference is busyness is coming from this place of there's some fear, there's an energy of not enoughness underneath it. And I think it's really important to kind of pay attention for a second and notice that nuance. Am I engaged? Am I active? Am I doing something meaningful? Or am I just busy so I can tell everybody else how busy I am, or so I can feel okay, like I'm doing something, so then I don't have to worry as much? And I think it's important to kind of pause for a second and notice. Busy, to me, is like, it just takes so much more energy to be busy than to be engaged. It's like listening to a radio station where there's a lot of white noise, and you have to really work harder. It takes a lot more energy to tune in to what matters. And that's what happens when we default to just being busy for the sake of busy. And some of you are going, I don't know how not to be busy. I mean, there's a lot of obligations and tasks and expectations and things that I'm supposed to do in my life, Jill. So how do I, not be busy? I invite you to challenge yourself to what would it look like if you prioritized your life in a way that got the stuff that mattered to you, that was expected of you, that lines up with your values, and you did it without daring to do it from the space of busy. What if you instead said, I want to be engaged and active and committed and connected to what matters, without doing it from that, okay, everybody see how busy I am space? What if somebody asked you how you are today, and instead of saying busy, you said something else of meaning? Now, I'm not inviting you to say, well, I'm not going to say busy, but I'm going to then list a litany of complaints. What if somebody asked you how you are, and instead of just saying busy, you told them something about yourself that was meaningful, or you looked for a way to connect with them besides just hiding out behind that cover story of busyness, or from that place of busy. Many of you have heard me say before, seen me write the line that we do worship at the altar of busy in our culture. So it doesn't make us bad people if we default to telling people how busy we are or acting busy. It just is robbing us, I think, of more meaningful stuff, more meaningful action, more meaningful accomplishment, more meaningful connections to other people. So that's why I'm talking about being busy today and daring to try something else. Specifically, here's what I think might be fun for you guys to try out. Next time somebody asks you how you are, dare to not answer with busy, but say something else that has more meaning. Secondly, instead of immediately waking up in the morning and jumping into tasks that make you feel busy in that more frenetic, energy draining, moving for the sake of moving, hamster on the wheel space, pause and consider what you want to prioritize that matters to you, and that matters to your values, and that matters to what is meaningful for you. Stephen Pressfield has a quote that I won't get exactly right, but I love it. He says, "The most successful people in the world are those who dare to know the difference between important and urgent, and then are brave enough to prioritize the important over the urgent." Urgent often is really more about that false sense of trying to keep up, or false sense of I'm not enoughness. Importance is that space of the stuff that really matters. And so when we can kind of turn on our head that habit of just jumping onto email or jumping into tasks in a reactionary way to put out these little urgent fires, we have a fighting chance at getting to the stuff that is more meaningful to us. And so it requires a little bit of self-awareness. It requires us to slow down a little bit and say, what is important to me? At the end of the day, if I've taken some ridiculously easy steps, I mean, even the tiniest little steps towards something that is important to me, that's probably going to feel a lot better than if I played this game of whack-a-mole and just tried to, knock down all these little urgent things that keep popping up in front of me. And I will still get meaningful stuff done. I will still get stuff accomplished. I will still be doing things. I will still be in action. But it's not going to be from that busy, frenetic, kind of like running for the sake of running space. So that is my little ideas about busy and daring to step out of the busy space into something that is a little more fulfilling, a little more enriching, and just might make you feel a little better, my friends, because we all need a little bit more of that in the world, I think. Reach out, let me know what you think, tell me where I'm wrong. I'll be happy to answer your questions below. I always love having this time with you. If you don't know how to do this, maybe we can coach together, or come to our retreat. About half the spots are full for a retreat that I'm doing with a couple of other incredible coaches, Margaret Webb and Trish Ring, at a gorgeous spot in the middle of the Blue Ridge Mountains coming up a little bit later this year. Lightyourfireretreat.com is how you can find out more about that. We'd love to have you join us. And otherwise, we'll talk again soon, you guys. Thanks for stopping by to talk about busyness. If you missed the first part, it'll be up in a couple minutes. You can rewind it and check it out. But otherwise, it's always good to spend a little time with you. Have a great one, everybody.